You are in Vaikuntha, where everything is perfect. No trace of ignorance, no trace of envy.
Let's go.
But for some reason, you get envy, and now you will suffer the fall down.
Not possible!
Bhajanita Gaura Radheshyam Japo Hare Krishna Hare Ram Bhajanita Gaura Radheshyam Japo Hare Krishna Hare Ram Jai Mahavira Radha Raman Jai Nitai Jai Gaur Jai Jai Sri Radheshyam. Jai Jai Sri Radheshyam and welcome. Namaste Guru Devaja Sarva Siddhi Pradayine Sarva Magala Rupaya Sarvananda Vidyajine. Jai Guru Sri Guru Jai Guru Sri Guru Jai Guru Sri Guru Shri Shri Mahavira Radha Raman Charandas Deva Ki Jai Jai Nitai Jai Gaur Jai Jai Sri Radheshyam. Yesterday I had the blessings of visiting my instructor, teacher, and friend, indeed, Sri Vrajgopal Dasagarwal from Vrindavan, speaking with him at his residence while commenting on the previous videos. He did a correction on my pronunciation, and I want to bring it to the table to say on this video. Due to my mother tongue, that is Spanish. Spanish is one of the most spoken languages in the world. Spanish has a different phonetic sound for the vocals and the consonants. All right. So double vocals are quite not existing in our language. As an example, I will say the word in English hello, hello, right? Spanish speakers by nature will say hello, 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 no, hello, are, who you are. This does not sound like this for us because of our training in pronunciation since childhood will sound who you are. Double A, no, here doesn't go for us as a Spanish speakers, so it's a big effort to try to pronounce some things as also as the exhale H, hello, doesn't exist in Spanish. So many Spanish speakers who are trying to speak in English will say with J, hello, 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 like this. Even there are some jokes.
You're like hello, and you see it go hello equals hola. Reply with hello. And you know that their hello started with a J. That's the best part, you know? Hello.
So Vrajgopalji said to me that the word that I pronounce as I read it and as I think it sounds, sadhana, and I put the accent, the stress in the second A, since there is a DHA. So to exhale this H, I do the accent in the second A, sadhana, sadhan. So Dadu said to me that I should pronounce sadhan or sadhana. He said to me, you know, I was watching this video and I cannot realize about what are you speaking about. And then you say that this practice, and I realized that you are speaking about sadhan. So this is introduction on pronunciation is to bring the good news that since today on, I will say sadhan, that this is the real word. Spanish speakers who read Bhagavatam, Gita, etc., all of them will say sadhana, but this is not the right word. So if you speak Spanish, get the right pronunciation, that is sadhan or sadhana. A in the end, okay, or just N in the end, but the word will be sadhan. If I understood correct what my dear friend was trying to explain to me. I am saying it right? Sadhan now is correct? Let me know in the comment section. Sadhan. Alright, in Vaikuntha not even the leaves fall. A wonderful reading. I have been enjoying very much every single of the previous 4 episodes. Where we studied, we saw the words, the writings of Sri Bhaktivinoda Thakur regarding to the origin of the soul. And basically we get in the study that there are 3 kind of souls. The Nitya Siddhas who goes to Vaikuntha or to Goloka, and they are manifest from different energies, from different sources are coming. Ones go direct to Vaikuntha, to Vaikuntha, Lakshminarayan, Aishvarya Mut, or the other kind of jiva manifests from a different source, is going or is eternally in Sri Nitya Lila Golok Vrindavan. And there is a third kind with lower power of jiva, that are the jivas manifest from Mahavishnu that enter the material realm, the material creation. And those jivas are jivas like you and me. Mainly me, because I am a Nitya Baddha. We are eternally here, taking different shapes and forms in this material world. And then when the Mahapralaya, the big mass destruction of the universe, take place, everything goes back to the Mahavishnu, and in that moment we are kind of resting, to say something like materially understandable, kind of resting before our next role. So we're resting there, then Mahavishnu exhale the infinite universes of material realm, or almost infinite to say. And then we take a different role in different bodies, different shapes, and we keep this spiral of creation and not manifestation eternally. But when we are sleeping, or when we are in Tatastha Shakti, in this marginal energy, it's not that we are in the spiritual world. It's not that. It's not that. It's not the spiritual world, because the spiritual world goes after that place. And there are the Vaikunthas, Ayodhya, Golok Vrindavan, etc., 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 counting even Shiva Loka and others, based on Shri Brahma Vaivarta Puranam, a work that some say that has some interpolations. Yes, it's possible, as everything has interpolations nowadays. But the essence of that Shastra is wonderful. I think as the 10th canto of Bhagavatam, I enjoy so much the Brahma Vaivarta Puranam. Mainly the areas speaking about Krishna is wonderful. However, we will continue now with the first wave, chapter 3 of this book, entitled The Origin of the Jiva according to Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Sarasvati. In the last 2 chapters, we have seen that Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur accepts that the conditioning of the jivas in the material world is beginningless, and that the Nitya Muktas, not even aware that the Lord has an energy called Maya, have no chance to fall down from their eternal position. We also saw how his words can be misinterpreted by those who lack spiritual insight. This was in the episode 4 of this series. If you haven't been watching it, please watch the 4th episode, because there are deep insights on this topic. And also I am sharing extra point of views, to say, putting more souls to the reading, by sharing my own investigation. So there is so much information, and of course based on Shastras. Otherwise, I don't even have this channel running. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati is the illustrious son of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. He imbibed Gaudiya Vaishnavism from his father. Therefore, one would not expect him to disagree with the Thakur, Bhaktivinoda. He writes in his commentary on Brahma Samhita 21, "But so long as he, Jiva, remains submissive to Krishna, the Lord of Maya, he is not liable to the influence of Maya. The words, afflictions, birth, and rebirths are the concomitants of the fettered condition of souls falling into the clutches of the deluding potency from a time that has no beginning. Clearly, he accepts that the bondage of the jiva is anadi, or beginningless. Bondage of the jiva. Let's get the words correct in the right place. Bondage of the jiva. So the problem and suffering of the jiva, this kind of jiva that I explained already, that is in the material world, is beginningless, is anadi, it has no beginning. So it means that this kind of jiva, like me, we have been forever here, basically forever. We hear this thing about 8,400,000 bodies, approx. Some has a little bit different idea, but it's about this number, that we get all these bodies until we get to a human form, right? But this also does not contradict that every time that we came inside the material world, we start again and again and again and again in the chain of evolution, if we want to think on that way. Clearly, he accepts that the bondage of the jiva is anadi, or beginningless. It means that there was not a time that the jiva, the conditioned soul in the material world, was free of the bondage. There was not a time of that. In the booklet Vaishnavism Real and Apparent, under the heading The Bondage of the Jiva, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta writes, Jivas are of two kinds. 1. Nitya Mukta, eternally free. And 2. Nitya Bada, eternally enslaved. Free Jivas are never enslaved. They are serving the Supreme God in 5 different functions in His eternal blissful abode, where there is no change, no destruction, no misery. Jiva, once entered there, never comes back. This is the pinnacle of the philosophy on Jiva Tattva. This is Jiva Tattva, and the words of Bhaktisiddhanta are in tune, in perfect tune with the words of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. So these both things are previous to the fell-down theory of Bhaktisiddhanta Swami Bhaktivedanta, are previous to him. So if the Guru and Param Guru of Bhaktisiddhanta Swami are saying this, it's not strange that Swami Bhaktivedanta will say something different. There is no strange at all. There is an explanation of this. Is to make the Western people, uneducated Western people, on terms of spirituality and Vedas and philosophy and so on, the uneducated Western followers, to assimilate this reality. They are jivas. Our mission is to go back to God, or to go to God, not back, because we've never been there. But we are jivas and we are going to God. This is the point. So by addressing this matter as we fell down from there, is in somehow creating a subtle mental manipulation that the mind tried to close the loophole, right? That, okay, if I am coming from there, the natural activity I should do in this world is to practice sadhana, spiritual life, devotion to Krishna, and get back to Him. On my opinion, and in the opinion of many very intelligent sadhakas, bhaktas, this is the reason behind the fell from the Vaikuntha idea. Let's continue. Here, as in Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya 2010, he accepts only two classes of jiva and categorically said free jivas are never enslaved. Never means never. He also says jiva once entered there, never come back here. These two sentences means that whether one has always been in Vaikuntha or goes there from the material world, one never falls down from Vaikuntha. Never falls down from Vaikuntha. From these two references, Brahma, Samhita and Vaishnavism, real and apparent, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Sarasvati clearly accepts two things. One, that Nitya Mukta or Bada Mukta never fell down. For the ones who are a little bit lost on this topic, I will say that Nitya Muktas are, as an example, the 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan or the 8 Goswamis of Vrindavan. They are Nitya Muktas. They are coming from there to perform a lila in order to serve Jay Sri Radheshyam Sundar Nitai Gauranga, and then they go back. They are never affected by Maya, indeed. Their very nature is Shuddha Bhakti. And the Bada Mukta are the people of the world that we see, and sometimes we feel even ashamed of to say. Yes, these are Bada Mukta, forever in the jail. They have been always in the jail. We have been always in the jail, but we can go out. And when we achieve mukti, liberation, and we enter Vaikuntha or Golok Vrindavan, we never fell down, we never came back. This on the words of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, this on the words of Bhaktisiddhanta Sarasvati. So take it. This, it is as it is. In Chaitanya's Teachings, Part 2, Chapter 1, Immanent and Transcendent, page 391 and 392. Third edition, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta writes, Tatastha has both the power of associating with temporal as well as eternal planes. Souls who have got their stations at Tatastha have got free will. Each of the individual souls, by exercising his free will can abuse or properly use his independence. He has got two different fields in two different directions. He may choose one of these for his stage when he is in an enjoying mood and considers himself identical with the predominating object or the absolute. He is said to be fallen, and when he shows an aptitude for serving the transcendental predominating object, he is freed from the clutches of limitation and is eternally associated in serving the predominating object. The souls in the Tatastha position are not one but many in number. They are not to associate themselves with unalloyed Chit Shakti or unalloyed Ashit or Maya Shakti. In the Tatastha position, souls do not show any activity, but they are found to be in an indolent stage. And on page 365-6, he writes, Vishnu has three energies. One of them is meant for manifestation of his eternal abode. Another potency is for creating all human souls who are emanations from his Tatastha Shakti, found between the temporal and eternal worlds. By this potency, he creates human souls. The human soul has two different predilections. If he desires to serve Godhead, he is allowed into the eternal region. If he desires to lord it over this world, he comes down for enjoying in different capacities the products of the deluding potency. Here one more time we get the same concept of Tatastha Shakti being like a river that separates two lands. One land is the Maya Shakti and the other land is the Chit Shakti, eternal energy, and the other is the delusion energy or the illusory energy. Tatastha Shakti is the material world, and the Chit Shakti is the spiritual world, to say. And in the middle, this river is the Tatastha Shakti. Chit Shakti, spiritual, Maya Shakti, material, and in the middle, Tatastha Shakti, right? So this Tatastha is where are we kind of, to say, sleeping for some time after the Mahapralaya, the universal destruction. And then we take position where I will go. As I explained in the previous video, in the end, in the very, very end, from an absolute point of view, Brahmagyan, everything that the jiva do and decide is still, if the jiva decide to go to material realm, Maya Shakti, it is, by its very nature, it is Krishna's Lila. And now how this is Krishna's Lila, I will share in this way, in this my opinion. I don't know if there is a backup on Shastras in relation to this. This is my own opinion, okay? I can be wrong with this. This is my own opinion, all right? My opinion is that the Lila of Krishna is that the soul is inside this Maya Shakti movie theater and is so lost and so much suffering, and Krishna start putting some signs on the life and millions of life of this soul, and start showing himself like a romantic movie, start showing himself step by step, helping the jiva in the dreams, in the daily life, in the conversation with friends, in the kirtan that he hear in one moment, in the books, start showing himself, and the jiva, who is absolutely doomed in this material world, is getting some drops of wisdom here and there. Here and there, the jiva start doing a little meditation, start reading on the topics, spirituality. The jiva start discovering that it's not this body, and step by step, the jiva realize that there is Krishna, and the bondage of the jiva turns into Ananda. This very word, Maya Shakti, transformed because it's Maya, is illusory in the way that it's like water. It can change any shape it wants by to serve, change in order to serve Swayam Bhagavan. Then this Maya Shakti starts changing, and everything from hell turns, like in a science fiction movie, sci-fi movie, turns everything in the very moment into spiritual, and everything turns into Ananda. The karmic food that this person, this jiva, was eating and making karma, now it turns into prasad. The singing of ridiculous hip-hop songs turns into a kirtan. The nonsense speaking and moving the tongue, just spending air and audio contamination, then now turns into Harinam. So everything turns into Ananda and transformed into a spiritual world inside this very Maya Shakti. So I think this is exactly the Lila that Krishna wants to perform, that cannot perform in Golok. In Golok, everybody is full aware and full conscious. So self-conscious, everything, the grass, the trees, the birds, the animals, the cows, peacocks, every single entity there, the stones, everything is alive and is full of perfect conscious. So Krishna cannot play this role of savior, cannot play this role of Superman. Krishna, like in the expansion of Narasingha, to say Superman, he came to save. He cannot do there. Indeed, Krishna in Golok Vrindavan is at the service of everyone. He cannot be a super powerful. Even in the Bhauma Vrindavan that has this mix, kind of, when Krishna do something, nobody think that Krishna has superpowers or he is God, is Bhagavan. Everybody think that, oh, Vishnu or Shiva or the Devas or the God have been helping us. And just Krishna was there in the middle, but nothing extraordinary about Krishna. It's the same consciousness, brush consciousness on Golok Nitya Lila Vrindavan. Nobody think Krishna is extraordinary on that way, like superior divinity. No. God, no, nothing like that. Aishwarya is in Vaikunthas and is different nature of jiva than the jivas of Golok Vrindavan. So they have no Aishwarya, it's just Madhurya, it's love because of love, period. But in this world, Krishna can come and can do all these shows to be Parasuram and to erase from earth all the corrupted Kshatriyas, and then to fight the Mahabharata and to chant the Bhagavad Gita. You understand what I mean? All these beautiful Leelas will not exist if Maya Shakti will not exist, and we will not be here, the fallen souls, who our Savior will come to save us because He loves us very much. Tike, do you understand what I mean? On my opinion, this is why this Maya creation is done. So everything, absolutely everything, is a Krishna's Leela. He is the Lord of the Leelas, and which kind of Leela Lord will exist if He cannot perform the Leela of the Savior, the romantic Leela of coming to save us, fighting the full universe and the biggest demons to save us. This is so sweet. This is all Madhurya. It's all a beautiful Leela. Let's continue. So Vishnu has three energies. Tatastha is in the middle between the spiritual realm and material realm. This does not mention fell from Vaikuntha, but from Tatastha, on the words of Bhaktisiddhanta Sarasvati. Fell from Tatastha, which is the marginal potency situated between the spiritual and material potencies. The souls there are in an indolent stage of existence. No resident of Vaikuntha could be described as indolent. So this is surely not Vaikuntha. This verdict agrees exactly with Bhaktivinoda Thakur in Jaiva Dharma. In the same book on page 366, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta writes, this position, which is like a geometrical line, is designated Tatastha Shakti, the fountainhead of all human souls. Tatastha Shakti is located between the two potencies of Vishnu, one of which maintains this transforming word, and the other is the source of the manifestation of the eternal word that does not change like this word. These potencies belong to the personality of Godhead Vishnu. He also says that there is no ignorance in the spiritual world, which means that nobody makes mistake out of ignorance. This is the main point. How you can perform stupid ideas or mistakes in a place where there are not mistakes? If you have red, blue and yellow color to say, not mixing, pure color, red, blue and yellow. You have these three colors. And I ask you as an artist, please paint me a black human shape. You will say to me, I'm sorry, sir, but I have only red color for painting, blue color for painting, and yellow color for painting. I have no black color. And I say, give me a black painting. And I say, you will answer to me, there is not possible. Black paint does not exist. And I still insist in you, give me a black paint. And you will say, it's not possible. All right? So Vaikuntha is perfect and there is no ignorance. Then from where the ignorance is coming in order to do a wrong decision and fell down? Ultimate nonsense. But I am not speaking from my point of view. We are reading Bhaktisiddhanta and Bhaktivinoda writings. So he also says that there is no ignorance in the spiritual world, which means that nobody make mistakes out of ignorance. Page 391. 390, line 1. In Chit Jagat, there is no ignorance whatsoever of free souls, whereas in Magic Jagat, magic impressions of fallen federal souls are always obscure with intervening materials. Chit Jagat, universal, spiritual, eternal universe. Jagat, universe. Chit, eternal consciousness, pure consciousness. Chit Shakti, and magic Jagat is Maya Shakti. Basically, Jagat, universe, Jagat, Jagannath. Jagat in magic of Maya, magic. In the Maya, in Srila Bhaktisiddhanta's Vivriti commentary on Bhagavatam 3.7.12, he writes, Bhakti Yoge Avasthita Mukta Purusha Kripana o Vadhana. Being situated in Bhakti Yoga, a liberated person never becomes miserly or bound. And in his Vivriti Sara on Shatu Shloki, Bhagavatam 2.935, he writes, Prakriti, time and karma, this can neither generate nor destroy a conscious entity or the non-dual reality. These are distinct from the conscious entity, and thus they are counted among the ashit, or inert group. Out of these three, the first two are indestructible. Karma is destructible, but it has not beginning. You can destroy the karma as the personal karma that Jiva has or have, but the energy as karma, as the karma consciousness, to say the thing that is moving the universe, material universe, Maya Shakti, cannot be destroyed. It's part of the law, it's part of the nature here. You cannot take it out. You can get out, but karma will stay in different ways, different forms, different shapes inside the material world. Here he clearly accepts karma as beginningless, which means the jiva could not have been in Vaikuntha prior to being entrapped in karma, because this will negate the beginningless nature of karma. The problem is that false bodies, the ones who believe in the theory, in the idea of jiva falling from Vaikuntha, do not appreciate that when a beginningless event, karma, is associated with a beginningless entity, the jiva, it means that both must be concurrent. One could not have had a prior existence. Both are simultaneously beginningless. Therefore, if beginningless karma could not have begun and in the spiritual world could not have begun in the spiritual world, then the beginningless jiva bound by karma could not have been in the spiritual world either. Sometimes it appears from the writing of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Sarasvati that he is indicating a fall from Vaikuntha, but careful study of the text and its proper reconciliation with definitive statements such as those cited above easily remove such doubts. One such passage is seen in his Vivriti on Bhagavatam 11.2.48. The conditioned soul binding himself to sense perception exists in the material world, having attachment or hatred along with his material experience, but he cannot understand that these do not exist in the nature of Vaikuntha. Maya, which is the energy of Lord Vishnu, unreal, bewilders the jiva, who is a product of the Tatastha Shakti in sense perception and keeps him without service to Lord Vishnu. Then, being bewildered and covered, he is fallen from Advaya Vaikuntha. From the last statement, it seems very clear that we have fallen from Vaikuntha, but that is far from the truth. There is no Maya there. The devotees in Vaikuntha can neither be bewildered or covered by her, which is the prerequisite of falling down. The statement that the jiva is bewildered, covered, or fallen do not mean that they happen at a particular time. The conditioning of the jiva has no beginning, and thus he has always been bewildered, covered, and in a fallen state. In the same Bhagavatam commentary, just a few verses before Vivriti on Bhagavatam 11.2.37, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta wrote, Advaya Nyan Brajendra Nandana Swayam Rupa Tattva. Brajendra Nandana, the non-dual consciousness, is the Swayam Rupa Tattva. Those who have taken shelter on him, being situated in their own Svarupa, have no opportunity to invoke any kind of inauspiciousness. And there is never a time that Nitya Mukta devotees are not situated in their own Svarupa, because nothing else is possible. As we read on the previous videos, also the statement on in Vaikuntha, what to speak about Golok Vrindavan that is even more pure and elevated. In Vaikuntha, there is no Maya, and the inhabitants of the spiritual realm, they are not conscious that something like Maya exists. For them, all what exists is just what they are living there. Their conscious is eternal, and their conscious is perfect. There is not a way that they will have bad feelings, ignorance, or they will be bewildered by Maya. This is absolutely against the Shastras and against the writings of Bhaktisiddhanta Sarasvati, as we can see, and the writings of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. But this is not all, and we will continue with the study in the next episode. As always, do what is correct. You know what is correct? To say thank you, to give a like, to support with one good comment on the comment section. If you have any question, please let me know. I am happy to serve. Mahavira Radharaman Ki Jai, Jai Nito, Jai Nitai, Jai Gaur, Jai Jai Sri Radheshyam. Bhaktisiddhanta Gaura Radheshyam, Japo Hare Krishna Hare Ram. Bhaktisiddhanta Gaura Radheshyam, Japo Hare Krishna Hare Ram. Jai Mahavira Radharaman, Jai Nitai, Jai Gaur, Jai Jai Sri Radheshyam.